In the village of Kaduna, where the red earth met the big sky and the baobab trees whispered secrets to the wind, there lived a woman named Ozola. Ozola carried a secret, a story told by the old oracle in the whispering caves. The oracle had said a special child would be born, a child touched by the stars. This child would bring either great happiness or great sadness to Kaduna. The child, the oracle warned, would be born under the hunter's moon, and what happened to the child would happen to the village. As the hunter's moon got closer, Ozola felt a tiny life growing inside her. She felt both happy and scared. Would her child be a gift, bringing joy to Kaduna, or would they bring trouble, like the oracle had said? The people in the village watched carefully, some excited, some worried. They all knew about the oracle's words, the heavy feeling that things could be both good and bad. When the hunter's moon was big and bright in the sky, Ozola had a baby girl. Her skin was smooth and dark, and her eyes shone like little stars. They named her Kosi, which means strong. They hoped this name would give her strength, no matter what her life brought. Kosi grew up, and she was different from the other children. She could talk to the animals. Birds would land on her hand, and the lions and zebras weren't afraid of her. She was kind and wise, even though she was just a child. The villagers watched her, some amazed, some a little afraid. Was she the good thing the oracle talked about, or was she the bad thing? For many years, Kaduna was happy. The rain came when it was needed, the crops grew well, and everyone laughed and played. The villagers thought Kosi was a gift, the star-touched child who had brought them luck. But the older people, who remembered the oracle's words, still felt a little worried. They knew that good times could change quickly, like the weather. Then, one hot summer, the big river started to get small. The fields turned dry and brown, and a hot wind blew across the land, making people worry about food. The happiness in Kaduna turned into sadness and fear. They remembered the oracle's words, the shadow that followed the starlight. Had the good luck turned bad? The village leader, an old man with wise eyes, called everyone together. The oracle's words have come true, he said sadly. The Starborn Child has brought trouble to us. People in the village got scared. Some of them wanted to send Kosi away, thinking she was the reason for their problems. Others, who knew how kind she was, said that was wrong. They remembered how Kosi had helped them before, finding lost animals and sharing her food with those who were hungry. Ozola stood in front of everyone, her heart aching. She looked at her daughter, her stubborn child, who stood bravely even though everyone was afraid. She remembered the day Kosi was born, the joy she felt, and the hopes she had for her child. "My daughter," Ozola said, her voice full of love and pain, "is not a curse. She is a gift, a child of the stars. But even the brightest star can be hidden by clouds. We must look past our fear and try to understand what the oracle really meant." She looked around at the worried faces, her heart breaking for her daughter and for her village. Kosi, even though she was scared, felt like she had to do something. She knew she was different, touched by something they didn't understand. She looked at her mother, her eyes full of love and courage. She thought about all the animals she talked to, the birds that sang to her, the gentle gazelles that let her pet them. She felt a connection to the land, to the river, to the very air they breathed. "Mother," Kosi said, her voice clear and strong, "I will go to the whispering caves, where the oracle lives. I will ask for help, for a way to bring back the rain and make Kaduna happy again." Everyone gasped. The whispering caves were a dangerous place, full of secrets and said to be home to bad spirits. Nobody had gone there for a long time. They were afraid of what might be lurking in the darkness, and they were afraid of the oracle's mysterious pronouncements. Ozola knew she couldn't stop her daughter. Kosi was the Starborn Child, and her life was tied to the village. She hugged Kosi tightly, tears falling down her face. She whispered words of love and encouragement, telling Kosi to be brave and to remember all the good things she had learned. "Go, my child," she whispered, her voice shaking, "and may the spirits be kind to you." Kosi started her difficult journey, her small figure disappearing into the dry land. She walked for days, following the sun and the stars, until she got to the Whispering Caves. A cold wind blew out of the cave, whispering her name. The wind seemed to carry the voices of her ancestors, whispering warnings and blessings. Kosi was afraid, but she remembered her mother's love, the trust in her eyes, and the hope of the villagers. She took a deep breath and went into the darkness. She carried with her a small pouch of dried berries and a heart full of hope. The cave was a maze of tunnels, the air smelling of wet earth and old magic. Kosi followed the whispers, her heart beating fast, until she came to a big room. In the middle, there was a pool of water, shining with the little lights from the cave entrance. Above the pool, on a stone stand, was a single, smooth, white stone. As Kosi walked towards the pool, a voice spoke through the room, old and powerful. "You have come for answers, Starborn Child. But the answers you seek are not in the stars, but in your own heart." Kosi looked into the pool, and she saw pictures flash before her eyes. She saw the dry land, the dead crops, the sad faces of the villagers. But she also saw something else, something she hadn't seen before. She saw the fear in their eyes, but under the fear, she saw hope. They weren't just waiting for a miracle. They were waiting for her. They were waiting for the Starborn Child they had known since she was a baby, the child who talked to animals and shared her laughter with everyone. The voice spoke again. "The dry spell is not a curse, child, but a test. A test of your bravery, your kindness, and your connection to the earth." Kosi understood. The oracle's warning wasn't about her being good or bad. It was about the power inside her, the power to connect with the earth, the power to give hope. It was about the love she felt for her village, the love that connected her to every person, every animal, every tree. She picked up the smooth white stone. It felt warm in her hand, like it was alive. She closed her eyes and thought about the pictures she had seen in the pool, the faces of her people, their fear, their hope. She felt connected to them, connected to the earth, connected to the stars. She thought about the river, how it used to flow, and how the animals would come to drink. And as she stood there, holding the stone, she felt a rush of power go through her, a power that seemed to come from the earth itself. She opened her eyes, and a single tear rolled down her cheek. But it wasn't a tear of sadness or fear. It was a tear of understanding, a tear of connection. It was a tear of love. When Kosi came out of the Whispering Caves, the villagers were waiting. They saw the change in her eyes, the new strength in her walk. They knew she had found the answer. They ran to her, their faces filled with hope and relief. Kosi walked to the middle of Kaduna and held the white stone high above her head. She closed her eyes and started to sing, a song as old as the wind, a song of the earth, a song of the stars. Her voice was clear and strong, full of love and hope. It was a song her mother had sung to her as a baby, a song about the rain and the river and the joy of life. As she sang, things started to happen. A gentle breeze blew the dust, and a single drop of rain fell from the sky. Then another, and another. Soon, a gentle rain was falling on the dry land, soaking into the thirsty earth. The rain was soft at first, then it grew stronger, a steady, life-giving rain. The villagers watched in amazement as the rain poured down, washing away their fear and sadness. The river started to flow again, and the dead crops slowly came back to life. Happiness filled the air, replacing the worry and fear. They danced and sang in the rain, celebrating the return of life to their village. Kosi, the Starborn Child, had done what the oracle said. She had brought not just rain, but hope. She had shown them that the power to heal, the power to connect, was inside all of them. The Starborn Child was not good or bad, but a mirror, showing the strength and courage of her people. And from that day on, Kaduna was happy, not just because of the rain, but because of the hope that Kosi had.